Welcome, everybody. This class, we would continue our dive into Scratch programming. They say the best way to study is to see and do. All right, so we follow along. All right, so dive with me as we get through this session. So we'll share our screen. We'll go to Scratch right now. Okay. Let's say we want to make a list of 50 fruits from different parts of the world. We wouldn't now create 50 different variables, would we? We would use something called an array, all right? And we would use the array in Scratch here. Array actually is the word in different programming language where we can store different variables. Here in Scratch, we call it a list. Now let's go over here under variable and we'll see here it says make a variable and we see these different blocks here, and under here it says make a list. All right. Okay. So what is a list? A list of items. A list of items. So before we proceed, um, I would like us to understand here the list here is a numbered list. All right. So meaning the items on the list are numbered. To get an item, we just need to know which number position it's at. Or if we want to know which item is at a particular number, we can use the number to get an item and then see what it is. All right. Now, the first program we're going to make is to ask a user to enter a number, and we're going to tell them which planet is at that position. All right. Of course, we know Mercury is the closest to the sun, so it's the first planet. Then we have Venus, then we have Earth, then Mars, and so forth. We'll ask a user for a number, and then we're going to tell them what planet is at that position. Let's program. Well, we'll need to be able to create a list and put the items. Now let's create it. So like we said, we'll go here, make a list. All right, so we click there. And then what are we going to call it? Of course, that's evidently we call our list planets. So planets, good. And you just click OK, and then we're done. All right. So it's important to name your variable or your list correctly. Name them something that makes sense. All right, something we can recognize later. Give it a good name, and then it makes much more sense later on. We can see the list here on the stage. We can see the list here on the stage, and it says empty. Well, this is just a placeholder to let you know that there isn't anything on our list yet. Look over here. Look over here, and you can see these dark orange boxes here. Yeah, this one's for variables. A little lighter, a version of a lighter orange than the dark orange over here. So when you see like here, we have you have planet, but here it says variable. So a list is a darker shade of gray than this. All right, so let's just get it out of the way. All right. There are different block codes describing what we can do with the list we just created. Let's look at them one after the other. You see the planet ticked here? Yeah, if it's ticked or checked, we can see the list on the stage. So if we don't want to do that, we just tick this and it disappears. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do now is make sure we start with an empty list. Okay, so for that, we would start our program as usual. When flag is clicked, that's when we want to, when this flag is clicked, that's how we want to start our program. Okay, and then we go back here so we can see all this. So we say delete. To start our program, we say delete all of planets. All right, that sounds terrible, isn't it? That sounds like we are some evil galactic genius with a Death Star weapon we can just use to blow up the entire solar system with a click of a button. Um, what that means, of course, is delete all the items on our list. Yeah, called planets. Remember, it's just a name we give to our list. It doesn't suddenly wipe out the entire solar system. We add items on our list and use the add box. Okay, we use the add box to add items on our list. So we use the add box to add items on our list. And and like we said, the list is a numbered list. So the first item we're going to add here is, of course, Mercury. Mercury, that's our first planet. So Mercury is planet number one. Um, some other programming languages will start a list at position 0. It's just a ruse to confuse you so that only those who like programming, like you, will know and, of course, appear smarter than the rest of us. We're just going to start with Mercury. And then there's something I memorized to get the 9 planets. Or the 8 planets, men very easily make jar serve useful needs. Men very easily make jar serve useful needs. Of course, that doesn't really sound about right, but it does help better, to get all the order of the planets correctly. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, and then we got Mars. So we're gonna just add. So we take this and we just duplicate this, duplicate that, like that, duplicate it again, and like that.
So we can just duplicate and then we start to change the name. So duplicate that and duplicate again and duplicate again and duplicate again. So that's about it. One, two, this. Okay, so that's Mercury and then there's Venus. Okay, then there's our planet Earth, of course. There's our planet Earth and then the big one, number 4, the big one, we have Mars and then the big one, that's Jupiter. And then, well, the one with the rings, that's Saturn. And then the one that makes people giggle because they pronounce it all the wrong way, Uranus. And then there is Neptune. Okay. I'm an old school guy. I really feel bad for
Pluto. We don't usually consider that, as I feel bad for Pluto. Pluto is knocked off the list. Doesn't consider it a planet anymore. But I'm old school, so just get that in there. All right. So there we go. Mercury, number 1, Venus number 2, Earth number 3, Mars number 4, Jupiter number 5, Saturn number 6, Uranus number 7, Neptune number 8, and Pluto number 9. Okay, so there we go. Okay, let's get another when flag is clicked. So here we've created our list. We've created our list here. All right. So let's get another when flag is clicked. Okay. We can get this as many as we need. All right. So when flag is clicked, all this we'll start running at the same time. All right. So now that we have our list of items using the add items to a list block, we can now ask a user for a question here. So we can go here, we ask a user for a question. Where is that question block? Okay, so we ask, and what can we say? We say, you can just say, what's your number? Okay, you can just ask, what's your number? And, or you can say is enter a number between 1 and 9. Simple as that. Okay, so let's just keep it simple. Enter a number between 1 and 9. Okay, and you wait for the user to do that. And when the user does that, the answer is going to be temporarily stored in our answer block here. But what we want to do is like to take that answer, we set it to a variable. So we make a new variable, we call it choice. So this is a choice of the user. So the user, so we call it choice. Now that we have choice, we go on the variable here. You see this say set variable to set choice. We already have that, set it to our answer. So we set it to our answer. And now let's come back to our list. We can see there's something we can see go down here. So item 1 of list. Okay, so remember our answer here, the choice here is the number, and now this normally displays, you see, when you say item 1, you see it works. It says Mercury. Let's put 4 here. Item 4, of course, is Mars. And let's say 6. Item 6 on our list is Saturn. So it works perfect. Item 5, oh, that's a big guy, Jupiter. So now, but we want the item to be whatever the user, whatever number the user input there. So that's a choice. So what do we want to do with this? So it says, it just says that. So we want our sprite here to say that. So what we could use, we go to looks and we say that for about 4 seconds so that it stays on the screen for a while. And then we say what? Say the choice of that planet. So we put it in there. So imagine we click this and choice has nothing yet. So that's our choice is empty, is 0. So we take all these and we put here. All right. So, and now we are ready. So now we go full screen mode and we see what we got. Okay. Now when we click flag, it's going to ask us enter a number between 1 and 0, so a number of a planet between 1 and 0. So your question here can be very elaborate, but now we just keep it simple. All right, so we enter 4, and then if we click tick, if we check it here, or you just enter, and it says the name Mars. Okay, then flag is click again, and it repeats the question again, so we can run our program as often as possible. So we click number 9, and oh, is that guy that we don't consider anymore as a planet, as Pluto. Let's start over again. Let's click number 1. I want to see my guy, Mercury, right here. Good, Mercury. Let's take again. Where do we live? Planet number 3. Hello, Earth. There you go. Okay, let me get the rings. The rings, can I guess that correctly? As planet number 6? Ooh, Saturn. Oh yeah. And let's say what's the one that people always mispronounce? That's number 7, I guess. That should be Uranus. Okay. I don't even want to say how people mispronounce these names. It just giggles me all the time. All right, so there we go. Everything checks out. And we come back here and review. So what have we done? Here we've created a list of 9 planets. And then here, just a simple query to take an input from our users, all right? And it's a simple number. And that number is temporarily stored in the answer variable, which is under here, the sensing block of codes, okay? And then we set that answer to our choice because we're gonna use a choice down here. And so we see that is a choice from the user, and that choice is a number of the planet, and our system will spit out that planet. So thank you. It's been a good session here today, and I'll see you guys again next class. We'll talk about something else. Um, that'll be it for today. It's Nelly, and this has been Scratch Programming Crash Course. Goodbye.